Hey man, this is Kevin Smith, and I'm not much of a reader anymore, man. It's mostly comic books for me, but when I do read, I like to read well-written literature, and Letters to Daniel is an insanely well-written book, man. The entire Heroes trilogy is something that I can't wait to read the rest of now that I've read Letters to Daniel by Amy McCorkle. Check it out at a bookstore near you or online.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Recovery Unplugged Live. We're live on... What's up, Amy? We just played your Kevin Smith snippet.
Yes.
I assure you we're open.
Yeah, I'll show you the back, but that means I'd have to stand up and turn around. And I don't feel like...
So you're fresh off of a trip to... Was it Jersey or where was it?
California.
California. Okay. Met with Kevin Smith at his house.
Don't.
What?
Well, yes. I got to meet. It was part of the Golden Calves thing. I got to meet him, and
is this a secret? Should I rewind it?
Well, we're okay so far. I'm just not sure. We were allowed to take pictures, and in fact, they some of the people there are more, I think, involved with Kevin than others. I felt like person on the block. They were all very kind, all were very cool. All the other people there, the whole 7 or 8 of us, were all very wonderful. Jen, Kevin's wife, was beautiful. And Kevin, what can I say? Long story short, he's as kind, he's as sweet, and he's as accessible as you'd want him to be. And he's super supportive. And we all got to do one-on-one interview podcast with him, and he made us all feel like stars. It was just really, really cool.
How was the podcast set up?
Much more fancy than mine is. There was probably 1 or 2 cameras. They had a vlog ring, some really good lighting, right? He's a director, so I'm a director too, but he actually had just a separate room especially for it. Was his office, so it was all set up
right. Cool.
And I think they're gonna put a tape of it up, because they wouldn't have shot all that. But he was just so sweet. I'm not equipped to go till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Some of these other people that were there were clearly more equipped to do it than I, but I was also still kind of jet lagged. And so they were all, how does Brandon put it? People were taking victory laps, and they were feeling good, and they were feeling no pain. And about 12 o'clock, I started thinking, I don't know how much more gas I've got. And when we got there, it's a beautiful home. It's just a beautiful home. And I had to ascend these stairs, and they're like a spiral staircase. So it messes. I don't have good depth perception, and I was not doing well. I could tell I just really needed to get home or get to my friend's house and take my bipolar meds and get to sleep so I could get up and get ready to take the plane the next day. Although it was the next day by the time we all left.
How long did you end up being over there?
Close to 7 hours.
Wow, that's pretty interesting.
He let us watch footage, let us watch his NFT horror movie called Kilroy. And I'm not really into horror, but I thought the ending, I thought the twist ending, I won't say anything about the movie because I don't know how much of it is out and all that. but I loved the twist at the end, and I enjoyed it. I don't usually like horror, but this was like, I thought, for the fact it was done on cryptocurrency,
Yeah.
was done exceptionally well. So,
Did he say anything about Clerks 3?
um, the like, um,
Is that from there? That's from the movie, isn't it? That shirt you're wearing?
yes, it's shirts that are not. We all got to pick like a premium item,
Mm-hmm.
and he took us into his office again, and there were certain shirts like this one that were not available to the public yet. They're going to be selling them to the public, but had not been revealed. So anybody who watches this will have gotten a sneak peek. I won't show the back, so at least there is some mystery to this shirt. But nobody wanted the yellow shirt because, if you're a big girl, colors like white and yellow, like big swaths of white and yellow, aren't usually that flattering to us. So, but I liked it because it harkened back to the original. So,
Good. So, what else is new?
okay, so I have literally. I'm trying to remember if I forgot one. Um, Finish Line has an executive producer. Songbird has an executive producer. Gil Holland has come on board in some fashion to The Guardian.
Okay.
The Letters to Daniel series as a television show has been is being pushed by an EP, like a producer.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a publishing deal for called the Heroes Trilogy, if anybody listens. And while I was at Kevin's house, I didn't ask him for one, but he very kindly said, I'll blurb the shit out of that thing. And so he gave me a blurb, which right now is just a vocal recording on my phone, but it's going to be going on the book. And according to my agent, my other idol, one of my big ones, Daniel Craig, the publishing contract and that wonderful blurb by Kevin will probably pave the way to making it much easier and a much more of a possibility of getting one from Daniel.
Right on. Well, let's listen to that blurb one more time before we go on.
Okay.
Oh. Whoa. Out of practice.
What happened?
Oh, this OBS stuff.
Hey man, this is Kevin Smith, and I'm not much of a reader anymore, man. It's mostly comic books for me, but when I do read, I like to read well-written literature, and Letters to Daniel is an insanely well-written book, man. The entire Heroes trilogy is something that I can't wait to read the rest of now that I've read Letters to Daniel by Amy McCorkle. Check it out at a bookstore near you or online.
All right, we are back. So that was our Kevin Smith blurb again. Wanted to play it one more time.
Hey.
And he's talking about the trilogy. Can you explain the trilogy of books?
Okay, so Letters to Daniel, I can't say much, but we're going to relaunch the first book, Daniel, the one to Daniel, hopefully with an blurb from Mr. Craig himself, and along with that wonderful, beautiful blurb that Kevin just did. And we'll relaunch the first book with not much difference. That's the honest truth. It'll have a new cover. It'll have a fresh intro, a fresh outro. Uh, um, but the second book in it, it's the Heroes trilogy, and it's where I'm writing letters to different artists who have inspired me along my recovery and my career. And the second book is called Letters to Matthew, and the third book is called Letters to Kevin.
Mm.
So
Who's
that
Matthew?
is what that is about. That's about as much as I can reveal right now.
Oh, listen to you, so secretive these days. All right. So, we got Indie Gathering coming up this weekend.
Woo, Indie Gathering.
Which means we have Letters to Daniel showing, and we have a Recovery Unplugged live showing.
Yes, we do. And we have Breaking Through showing.
And Breaking Through.
And Waterfall, which you played for the audience.
Mm-hmm.
It will have updated audio for this particular screening.
You said will or won't?
Will.
All right.
And Recovery Unplugged plays at 8 p.m. on Friday, the 12th. And it's the one with Bob Sines.
Right
and Breaking Through, which is our kind of quasi-documentary, docudrama. And it plays the 13th from 2 to 3. Or 2 to 2:45, or however long, I forget. Waterfalls plays in a shorts block in a micro block.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, it's an 11 a.m. kind of time. And then Letters to Daniel will be screening from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on Sunday, August 14th.
All right. Looking forward to that.
And so we have 2 second place videos. Recovery Unplugged finished second in its category, and Breaking Through finished second in its category, and Letters to Daniel finished third. But there were a lot of mental health movies. I'm like, man, I'm glad I made it when I did. We didn't get nominated, but we came in third. And truthfully, it's the second time it's played this festival.
Mm-hmm.
Cuts, but finishing third out of all the movies that get submitted in drama category, I feel happy. And the idea is Indie Gathering is kind of a mainstay on my festival tour circuit, and people there have been waiting for this. And it originally screened during COVID when they did the online festival. And while they did a magnificent job of trying to make it as interactive as possible, and there's a difference between sitting in a screening room or in a theater and watching the movie play with other people who have been following you along on your journey. And I just wanted to share that with the Indie Gathering crowd.
Right on. For all the work that they've done to
Right,
support the project and to support our work and stuff, and your work especially. So that's cool. I'm excited. So that's Sunday at 11:30 at the International Indie Gathering, which is
at the 4 Points by Sheraton Cleveland Airport.
Gotcha.
It's the airport 4 Points, because there's 2 4 Point Sheratons in Cleveland. It's not the one in Eastlake. It's the one by the airport.
All right, everyone. So the 4 Points by Berea, over by the airport, at the Sheraton, for Letters to Daniel, 11:30 on Sunday. Let's watch the trailer, Amy's favorite long trailer for Letters to Daniel, and we'll be right back.
Dear Daniel Craig, life did not always look like this. This marked a moment of triumph, a way of crushing an abysmal past and daring those with a stereotypical view of those with mental illness to challenge me on any front. To many, this was just a documentary. For me and Missy, this was our life.
It's like my skin is coming off. And my thoughts, they're racing so fast. I can't keep up.
I'm suffering too, you know. You're not the only one.
It's like my mind is coming apart and I can't get it to come together.
I think it's more than just that. Amy's been having a really hard time lately. She goes on these crying jags. She explodes without warning. She's so angry and so paranoid these days. She's not the happy Amy that I remember from Kentucky.
She thinks you're manic depressive. I, however, do not. I think this is something you've been obsessing on. I believe that it's all in your head.
Just come here. We're going to get you some help. I'll be okay. You do have a diagnosis. You have rapid cycling manic depression.
Dear Daniel Craig, bipolar disorder and those that saw it as contagious sought to pull me under, snap me in half, break me down. Even those well-intentioned do-gooders who see therapy and medication as bad and wrong, who see mentally ill individuals as hapless and hopeless, they're wrong. I found hope in your work. A comrade in Missy, my rock when no one else understood. You two are my twin lights when this disease threatened to take me down. And treatment was what got me through. Thank you, Daniel, for your talent and your work. Thank you for everything. Sincerely, Amy McCorkle.
All right, so that was it. That was your trailer for Letters to Daniel. We're back live. Make sure you check it out at the 4 Point Sheridan Airport in Cleveland at the Indie Gathering, the International Indie Gathering going on this weekend. And make sure you check out our show, Recovery Unplugged, live at that same hotel with Bob Sines.
Yes.
Friday night at 8.
And if you are a filmmaker and you have a movie there and you're just going to be there for the weekend, check out Breaking Through. Check out Breaking Through, even though I don't want to sit there and watch people watch me be in front of a camera. I worked on it, I submitted it, and it finished second place. So I'd like to
get it the respect it deserves.
I'd like people to see it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the release date from the Green Apple is coming soon for Letters to Daniel.
Okay. What does that mean?
That's they're going to drop it on platforms and streamers and
coming up.
Money.
Coming up. The Letters to Daniel franchise. Anything else? What else is new?
Well, I'm going to show you this. When we went there, when you got to the dining room, every place setting was set there. I don't know if you can see what he wrote on it.
It says, Amy, I love you. Kevin
Smith. He wrote that on all of them, except he put that, it was personalized for each person that was there. And by the end of the night, everybody was just walking into the kitchen and but it was not because it was like if we wanted water or something. It wasn't like we were roaming around the house just doing whatever the F we wanted.
Right.
But they were very warm and welcoming. Their home was beautiful. The people were very kind and very open, and you could just tell it was just like everybody was. It was like Kevin's the original fanboy, right? And That much is clear by the kind of blurb he gave me. Because he goes, I just read comic books.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. But he was kind enough to blurb my book. And when we took the group photo, he held my book, Letters to Daniel, up when we took the photo. So it was really,
Nice. What was his intention for having the gathering?
I think he just wants to, he feels like he likes the engagement between the artist and the audience. And he's such a beautiful soul that he tends to collect them around. And of course, there's a few rotten apples in there, but
Sure.
there were none of them none of them were the ones at the dinner. I loved everybody there. They were so kind, and they said they did a song about his dog called Shecky, a little dachshund, very, very old age, and the name of the song was called Shecky Didn't Like It, and according to Jen, Shecky is Kevin's world.
Oh,
yeah, and it's very clear that they love each other. And in today's age, where you look, and when you look not just in Hollywood, but in the world in general, when people say nasty things about people behind, oh, I'm married to this person, but they do or say really nasty things. They were not that way. It was just obvious that they loved and supported each other, and that another person who was there says, was it kind of like Kevin said, hey, I'm going to have some fans over, and he had to sell you on it? And she was like, yeah. And she goes, he's a good man. And you know how I know this? I'm a fucking bitch, and he's loyal, and he's sweet, and it was just, she was just effusive about how much she cared about him, and I thought it was very sweet.
Who said that?
His wife.
She said that about herself and why she appreciates him.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I thought it was touching.
It is. That's great. That's great. I think I'm like her, and my wife is like him.
Yeah. I wish I could pick up my cat and show her to you, but you know how Luke would scratch
You should.
me?
That'll be awesome. Please do it on camera. It'll be a great way to end the show.
She's not gonna let Nancy.
Well, you got any other shout outs that you want to give to anybody, or any other updates before we head out?
Oh, you know what? I mentioned Dell at the table, and he says, will you brought Dell here tonight with you?
Mm-hmm.
So and it was just like, oh my God. At the end of the night, I couldn't navigate the steps very easily because I was very wobbly. I'd had a lot of mimosas earlier in the day, and it was just late, and I needed my meds, and I was tired, and I needed to get into bed. And I was carrying things, and I didn't have a railing to hold on to. So he took my things that I was carrying, like this shirt and that Mallrats doll, and he let me hang on to his arm. And whenever the Uber came, he helped me in and held my things, and he was just so sweet,
Yeah.
And it's like not every guy or celebrity you're going to meet is going to be like that, because it's like all these years he still hasn't forgotten what it's like to be that guy sitting in a movie theater watching a movie, and it just like thrilling you for an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Yeah.
Whereas it's maybe almost 3 hours these days.
That's cool. That's a great story. Well, I'm glad you got to have that experience.
Yes, and like nobody else. It's like Missy with George Clooney. He wrote her a very kind letter,
Mm-hmm.
and and like there are a lot of people that don't like him because of his political stances, And I'm like, fuck that. He was nice to my friend, and he showed her respect, and he was very sweet, and he wrote her back. Well, he wrote me back. Well, he wrote her through me because I wrote him a letter on her behalf.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and
what are his political stances?
he's very liberal. And
Oh.
I don't know. Yeah, that's not a crime to me. It's a crime to some people in this world. But he was very sweet and very respectful of Missy, and we were training for a marathon at the time, and he encouraged her in it, and he told her it was important to have good friends, and he sent us a scene from ER, which was just about friendship and what little we knew about filmmaking at that time. Well, I'm like, shit, this is the scene that's going to get cut, but it was very sweet, and Kevin, I would say Kevin is even more accessible. Hell, what other celebrity is going to invite 8 fans into his house and have dinner with them?
Yeah, Kevin went to, or I should say, my friend, our mutual friend Mikhail Tot went to the same high school as Kevin Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And I could also see Misha as someone who would have 8 of his fans over to his house for.
Oh,
Lord knows what.
That.
So, but he's in a punk band called Gas Station Boner Pills right now.
Hey, whatever works and whatever floats his boat.
Whatever floats your boat, America. Whatever floats your boat, go do it. And broadcast your message live.
Yeah.
So, we doing another one, or we don't know? Maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll find some people to interview this weekend at the gathering.
Kind of harvest the indie gathering crowd and have them on.
Okay. Well, if they show up to Recovery Unplugged Live on Friday, anyone who comes gets an instant interview. All right. Well, thanks for doing the update.
Okay.
We're going to leave with, we'll do the Kevin Smith and then the Letters to Daniel trailer. And I will see you this weekend.
Okay, see you this weekend.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Recovery Unplugged with Amy's updates and getting ready for the International Indie Gathering this weekend in Cleveland, Ohio. I am John from G1NBC Live, and we will see you very soon.
Yes.
Hey man, this is Kevin Smith, and I'm not much of a reader anymore, man. It's mostly comic books for me, but when I do read, I like to read well-written literature, and Letters to Daniel is an insanely well-written book, man. The entire Heroes trilogy is something that I can't wait to read the rest of now that I've read Letters to Daniel by Amy McCorkle. Check it out at a bookstore near you or online.
Dear Daniel Craig, life did not always look like this. This marked a moment of triumph, a way of crushing an abysmal past and daring those with a stereotypical view of those with mental illness to challenge me on any front. To many, this was just a documentary. For me and Missy, this was our life.
It's like my skin is coming off. And my thoughts, they're racing so fast. I can't keep up.
I'm suffering too, You're not the only one.
It's like my mind is coming apart and I can't get it to come together.
I think it's more than just that. Amy's been having a really hard time lately. She goes on these crying jags. She explodes without warning. She's so angry and so paranoid these days. She's not the happy Amy that I remember from Kentucky.
She thinks you're manic depressive. I, however, do not. I think this is something you've been obsessing on. I believe that it's all in your head.
brain weak first. Come here. We're going to get you some help. I'll be okay. You do have a diagnosis. You have rapid cycling manic depression.
Dear Daniel Craig, bipolar disorder and those that saw it as contagious sought to pull me under, snap me in half, break me down. Even those well-intentioned do-gooders who see therapy and medication as bad and wrong, who see mentally ill individuals as hapless and hopeless, they're wrong. I found hope in your work. A comrade in Missy, my rock when no one else understood. You two are my twin lights when this disease threatened to take me down. And treatment was what got me through. Thank you, Daniel, for your talent and your work. Thank you for everything. Sincerely, Amy McCorkle.